Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more of my future video postings, please subscribe to my channel. The goal of my YouTube channel is to combine the scientific principle and practical applications of home cooking. I will try to help you to make home cooking fun, creative, and sustainable. I'm a retired college professor in immunology. The reason I started this YouTube channel is because of my concern of the nutritional status of the American diet. I'm not a professionally trained chef, but I do cook. I cook every day and I enjoy cooking very much. In many ways, this YouTube channel is my journey into cooking to find a way to eat healthy through home cooking. I think today it is more important than ever to follow the motto, let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food. Over the past several years, I have developed a cooking system. I call it the FAST cooking system. FAST is the acronym for the 4 attributes of this cooking system, and it stands for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. You can learn more about this cooking system in this video. I cook every day using this cooking system. Not only I enjoy the food I eat, but it is very efficient. Normally it takes me less than 30 minutes to put a meal on the table using all fresh and unprocessed ingredients. One important component of this cooking system, which I call it flavor chasing. I always go with the assumption is that you will cook if you enjoy the food that you make. So it is important that you continue to improve the flavor of your food. Through flavor chasing, I continue to improve the taste of my food. The end result is that my food tastes better and better to me over time, and I have less and less desire to eat out. The end result is of tremendous health benefit. I apologize for this long introduction, but I want to make sure that the following video will make sense of why I spend the time to do flavor chasing. I love asparagus, but I don't cook them very much because my wife is so about it. Several years ago, we were at a restaurant and we found an asparagus, which is an appetizer that my wife really enjoys. This asparagus is coated with light batter and make it crispy on the outside, but it's very soft and moist inside, provide a very nice contrast. So I have been thinking about how could I achieve this texture. So I did some research and I found out that you can coat this asparagus with light batter. Since my cooking system emphasizes on efficiency, I don't want to take the time to make the batter. So I decided, would it work if I coat it with cornstarch? I have a good reason to believe that this probably worked very well because I have coated shrimp with cornstarch and it achieved the similar texture that we experienced in the asparagus in the restaurant. So I first found some shrimp and I used the whole shrimp rather than cut them up as I quite often do. In our household, I prefer the shrimp cut up into small pieces, but my wife preferred it in its entirety. So quite often we have a compromise and I alternate between these 2 forms of shrimp. For this dish, I'm going to coat the shrimp generously with cornstarch. I then found myself some asparagus. I cut them up into pieces and then I coat them also generously with cornstarch. To cook this dish, I'm going to use my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok. I first spot season the wok, make sure that it has a good non-stick surface. If you are not familiar with my spot seasoning method, you can take a look at this video. Because of the cornstarch coating on both the shrimp and the asparagus, I'm going to cook this dish as if I were doing shallow frying. My plan is that I'm going to start with a minimum amount of oil, just enough to cover the bottom of the wok. My plan is to add more oil as it is become necessary. I add the shrimp one by one, use a pair of tongs into the wok. So this way, I want to make sure that the coating of the cornstarch stay on the shrimp. If I add all the shrimp all at once, it is quite likely the coating is going to come off. After frying the shrimp for about 10 to 15 seconds, I use the tongs to turn them over. By this time, I can tell the shrimp is probably about 15% done. And I decided that I'm going to add a little bit more oil using my oil squeeze bottle. Next, I add the asparagus to the wok. As you can tell that I probably need more oil, so I use my oil squeeze bottle and add more oil directly over the surface of the asparagus. Now I have more contents in the wok. My tongue is no longer as effective as it was before, so I got out my wok spatula and I stir fry all the content, but gently. My goal is as much as possible to avoid knocking the cornstarch off the surface of the asparagus. So I use a gentle tossing action rather than a stirring action to mix them. It probably might not be necessary, but it looked to me that there might not be enough oil in the wok, so I add more oil. Again, it doesn't take very much time to cook them. At this point, I decided I would do a quick taste test to make sure the texture of the asparagus is what I expected. By judging on the appearance, they look probably done. When I taste it, actually I think it might cook a little bit too much. At this point, I remove the wok from the stove immediately and I transfer the contents to a serving plate. I'm going to season the dish with my basic seasoning mix. Usually, I would season them with the contents directly in the wok. However, in this case, I do not want to overcook the content, so I season them in the serving plate. I provided a light dusting of my basic seasoning mix, and then I mix it up before I serve on the table. From the appearance standpoint, I think this dish has achieved its goal. The asparagus looks like it has a very nice light coating, and so will the shrimp. So the verdict will be whether my wife would like it or not. She really enjoyed it, and she told me that this is probably the best asparagus that she has ever had. I like it as well, but I enjoy the fresh taste of asparagus probably a little bit better. Since I love shrimp, so from this standpoint, I enjoy the shrimp actually more so than the asparagus. So I decided, because my wife likes it so much, this is going to be part of my repertoire in cooking asparagus. If you like food that are lightly fried, this might be a good approach for you to try out. I think cornstarch provide a much better coating than flour because cornstarch do not pick up as much oil. So when you eat this asparagus, you do not find it to be too oily. Asparagus is often difficult to cook, and I think with this approach, it provides an option to make asparagus have a slightly different texture. Like everything else, sometimes a minor change could make a big difference. My wife, from this point on, will probably start asking for asparagus. I think this is, for me, is what makes cooking fun. The constant opportunity for exploration and for creating new approach. I'm sure I'm not creating anything new. Probably many people have tried this before, but for me, it is new. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you find the information in this video will help you to become a better cook, please click the like icon below because this will help me to reach a broader audience. See you next time.